Hey, this is Paul from Guitar World, and today we're going to be looking at the brand new American Standard Stratocaster and the American Standard Tele. Now, this is the newest 2008 versions of the American Standard line, and there are some subtle changes, but now the guitars are even more vintage and they're even more rock and roll. So let's take a close look at these guitars. Let's begin with the Fender American Standard Stratocaster. The changes are subtle, as I said before, but you basically got your standard Strat, and it's a great starting point for anyone who's never had a Strat before. What we have here is an older body. We also have 3 single coil pickups and the standard 5 selector switch, which as it goes all the way down is just the bridge pickup. In between is the noise, it's hum canceling for both these pickups, so it's the middle pickup and the bridge pickup. Just the middle pickup. Over here in the 4th position, just the 2 pickups here, the middle and the neck, and of course then just the neck pickup. The interesting thing about the tone pot over here is that on a standard Strat, it's usually not wired, so you have no option of altering the tone. On the new American Standards, you can easily dial off some high end of the tone from this bridge pickup. So at 10, you pretty much get pretty close to the sound of that pickup when it's not wired. And as you start to roll it, just at about 9, it becomes, you can hear the character change, and it can get very nasally sounding, but it's kind of cool because if you have a very bright amp, you can really dial in some great tones along with using, say, the middle pickup with it. One of the other subtle changes is the vibrato bridge on the American Standard. Previous American Standards had the block saddles. Over here, as you can see, we have more of a vintage style saddle. And they're really set up right so that you don't really mess up your hand or the bottom of your palm over here, because on vintage style saddles, the little set screws kind of protrude and rip up your bottom of your hand. But these are set just right, so they're at the proper length, so where your action is just about right. It also has the 2-bolt pivot bridge here too, which enhances tuning stability as well if you decide to use this. It's not perfect, of course, but it definitely increases that probability that you won't go out of tune. Moving on, what we have here is a thinner finish on these American Standards, so it allows the wood to breathe a bit. Moving over to the neck, on this particular guitar with the rosewood fingerboard and the maple neck, the tint on the neck is more accurate. It has a nicer, smoother tint, not so orangey. And the satin finish is really comfortable, not like those early, heavily glossed Fenders from the 70s. You also have your 6-in-line Fender tuning machines, 22 frets for all your needs, and that is about it. Let's get right to it and listen to this guitar. Let's begin with the clean sound, and let's toggle through all the pickup combinations, starting with the bridge. Let's move over to both the middle and bridge combination. Now just the middle. Now the middle and the neck pickup. Finally, just the neck. Let's move over to an edgier sound, and I will toggle through all the pickup combinations. Keep in mind that when you use just the bridge or just the middle or just the neck, you're going to get what is known as a 60-cycle hum. And so what's great about the notch positions, like using either the bridge and middle or the middle and neck, you get the hum canceling. So you'll really hear that as I get through it. Let's take a listen. Finally, let's hear the new American Standard on a solo setting. This is where Strats really soar. They sound really great, very clear and articulate when you cycle through the pickups. So let's take a listen. Moving over to the American Standard Tele, as I mentioned before, the changes in these guitars are subtle and vintage in character. Okay, let's hear this guitar. The first major difference between, of course, a Stratocaster and a Tele is the Tele is a little more twangier than a Strat and has a little bit more compression. So that's why a lot of the country players really dig Teles. Plus, they're just easy to get around and, damn it, they look like country. So let's hear with a little bit of gain on top of this guitar and hear what this Tele sounds like in the bridge position, in the middle, and in the neck. Here we go. Okay, let's move over to a medium gain setting, and this is where a Tele really shines. And I will show you the range of the tone control as I bounce between the pickups. Let's check it out. Finally, let's hear the Tele with a little more gain on top, and you'll get to hear why a lot of alternative rockers really dig this type of guitar. Here we go. Every guitar player needs a Strat and Tele in their collection of guitars. And I can't think of a better place to start than with the new American Standard Stratocaster and Telecaster. Go check them out.